Ever since I was 17, I had been the one holding the family together. My mom had passed away suddenly, leaving Dad and my younger siblings in shock. Bills piled up, groceries went unpaid, and the house was slowly falling apart. I worked 2 jobs, skipped college, and kept my siblings fed and clothed. I became the anchor, the problem solver, the one everyone relied on. Dad, meanwhile, buried himself in grief and later in his old habits. I kept my own dreams on hold. Every paycheck went to rent, food, utilities, keeping the family afloat. For years, I bore it quietly, thinking this was what family meant. Then came the day I turned 24. I had saved enough to consider moving out, just to take a breath for myself. I remember walking into the kitchen after my second job, exhausted, and hearing Dad's voice. "You need to leave," he said abruptly. I froze. "What do you mean? I've been keeping this house together. You've done enough. Now it's time for you to move on," he said, dismissing me with a wave of his hand. I stared at him in disbelief. "Enough? Enough? I've carried this family for years, Dad. Don't you see what I've done?" He shook his head. "It's not about what you've done. You're old enough to fend for yourself. Pack your things." My chest ached. The man who taught me everything about perseverance, responsibility, and honor was sending me away. I packed my belongings in silence, feeling both betrayed and heartbroken. My siblings watched with wide eyes, but said nothing. The door closed behind me, leaving a hollow echo in the empty hallway. I stayed with a friend for a few weeks, trying to process what had just happened. Anger, confusion, sadness, they all swirled inside me. But as I look back on the years, I realized something. I had built strength, independence, and resilience. I had managed to survive, even thrive, despite the lack of acknowledgement. I found a small apartment, took a higher-paying job, and began to rebuild my life on my own terms. Sometimes I called Dad, hoping for reconciliation, but the conversations were strained and awkward. I realized he wasn't ready to see me as an equal or as the adult I had become. Months turned into a year, and my siblings began reaching out more, realizing how much I had sacrificed. They came to visit, bringing apologies, gratitude, and slowly, understanding. I forgave Dad in my heart, not for him, but for myself, so that anger wouldn't define my life. One evening, I stood on my small balcony, looking at the city lights. I realized I'd been carrying not just a family, but my own future all along. Being kicked out had hurt, but it also gave me a chance to finally live for myself. And as the wind brushed my face, I whispered quietly, "I may have left the house, but I've never left my strength behind."